Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. I thought I would share with you guys makeup that I wore last week, perhaps the week before, in my Essie Breast Cancer Collection nail polish haul. I got a lot of requests for that makeup, as well as a lot of compliments. Thank you very much for your kind words. It's really very simple makeup. It's pretty much how I'm doing it every day, with the exception of I'm using here it is, a eyeshadow that I really don't have the name of it, but it comes in this Smashbox eyeshadow palette. It's called the Waterproof Powder Eyeshadow Palette. So none of these shadows have names, but it's this shadow right here, the last one. And let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my MAC Studio Fix Fluid and get it onto the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush and I'm going to get that on there, and I'm just going to start putting that onto my face. Like so. And I always put the highest concentrate of it right here because this is where I have all of my discoloration. And then I blend out, because towards my neck I really don't need that much coverage. And I know people will say that I attack my face with these brushes. They are so soft, you literally cannot be too rough. And all I'm doing is buffing it in. And then I like to wipe the rest of my hand onto my forehead. And then just buff that in. Like so. And I usually take a little bit more and add it to my cheeks, just for some like double coverage, if that makes any sense, because I just have so much discoloration. And it's not discoloration, they're like very large freckles or age spots that have developed. I don't know why my fridge has begun making noises like that. And then the remnants I just kind of wipe onto my skin and blend that in. I know that's a bit weird, but okay. And then I just make sure everything is blended in around my hairline, and I pat. To make sure everything's just kind of nicely, adhered onto my skin, no lines or anything. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my Studio Finish Concealer by MAC, and I'm going to get that onto my finger. I'm not going to apply it with a brush today. I'm just going to do it gently with my finger. And I just pat. Now, I have seen a lot of people who say not to use this as a concealer, and I would agree. Do not use this as a concealer if you have lines or things, areas where concealer settles into your skin, because this will crease like crazy. I don't really have lines underneath my eyes. I have very bad circles that I like to conceal. And this concealer does the trick. Excuse me. So I'm just lightly patting this in. I have tried every other concealer that MAC sells. The lightweight ones, the ones that are made for under eye area, those do not conceal my dark circles the way that I like them. It doesn't erase them. I like my circles to be pretty much erased. Okay. I like that kind of heavy Kim Kardashian concealer look. I'm going to take some Coty powder and a Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer brush, and I'm going to set that concealer into place like that. That is my fridge. I'm not sure why. Or my ice box, as my grandma calls it. It's an ice box. Okay. And do not, if you're going to set your concealer like this, do not apply and brush, or, you know, don't glide the brush on your skin. I am just lightly tapping the powder in to set, and that is it. If I was to pull this across or brush it across, it would leave weird lines from the application. Okay, speaking of grandma and icebox, my grandmother's birthday is next week. It's always a Columbus Day. And her sister's birthday is today. My great aunt, she's my dad's aunt. So my great aunt's birthday is today, and she is 94, 95. I can't remember how old she is. But she's an awesome woman, really, really cool. And they're both still going, you know, really strong. My grandmother has Alzheimer's. Her sister has no real ailment that I know of. I know there's probably a word or whatever from what she suffers from, but she's very weak, she's very thin, like brittle, I guess you would say, and she has arthritis, but she's just, you know, she's still out there and just, you know, really strong. It's really neat. This is Nars Angelika blush, and I'm going to apply that before I set anything else on my face so that it is applied directly on top of my foundation while it's wet. And I like this for all day like coverage, because I'm applying blush into a cream product or into a liquid product that I have on my face versus a powdered face on top of some powder pigment. So this is just going to go where I normally would apply my blush, like so. Hopefully you can even see it. My blush sometimes you don't see on camera. Okay, and then I'm going to take, where are you? There you are. Anyhow, so yeah, my aunt's birthday today. And funny thing, growing up, I did not know that my aunt was older than my grandmother. I thought my grandmother was older because my grandmother, I guess, was just very bossy. This is Tarte's Bronzer, and I'm just going to apply that under my blush to kind of sculpt out my cheeks a little bit. Anyhow, not that she was bossy, but I don't know. I guess my grandmother was a leader. Not that my aunt was a follower. I don't know how am I even talking about this? I really don't know how to put it. I just always thought that my grandmother was the oldest because it always seemed like she was telling my aunt what to do and when to do it. And my aunt used to poke fun at her. Like, my aunt would stick her nose out at her, or, you know, go away, leave me alone, you know, stuff like that. So I just always thought my grandmother was older. It wasn't until I became an adult that I learned she was younger than my aunt, that my grandmother was younger than my aunt. It's just crazy, you know, crazy things that you find out later. Anyhow, now I will put powder all over, and this is the Coty Airspun And I'm just going to set my makeup in place. Okay. And my grandmother had, what, like 7, let's see, I have 6 children that lived. She did have, I know of one in particular, in between my dad, or before my dad, who passed away, who did not live it. She has 6 children that she had. I have 4 uncles and 2 aunts. No, I have 3 uncles and my dad. There's 4 boys and then 2 girls. And my aunt, her sister, my aunt had none. She didn't have any children. But I have an uncle who takes excellent care of her. He takes very, very good care of my grandmother's sister. So funny, another funny thing too is they lived separately, you know, in different houses. They were both married. They had their children. But now they have moved in together and live in the same house. And it's hilarious because they fight like cats and dogs. And my grandmother stays in her formal living area with her TV for the most part all day long. And her sister stays in the den or sitting room with her TV all day long. There's literally a kitchen in between them. And they congregate when people come over, and that's about it. I think it's like, you know, we've had our fill of each other. But it's funny. So that's that. And tonight we're going to be at my grandmother's house, so hopefully I can get some pictures of my aunt and my grandmother. I'm filling in my eyebrows now with MAC's Soba. And I have a mirror right here, which is why I am looking down, so that I can see what I am doing. Because it's important to see what you're doing when you're putting your makeup on, right? Here, this side. And for this, I love to use MAC's Wedge. That is the shade that I typically use for my brows. But I am out of MAC's Wedge, so I'm using MAC's Soba. And I can use MAC's Soba or Cork or Wedge to do my brows year-round. You know, it doesn't really matter what shade I've dyed my hair. I can pretty much use them all the time. Okay. And then I will take a brush and just kind of smooth that into place so it's not extremely harsh. Just kind of tones it down a little bit. And my hair right now is kind of a light brown shade. I picked up a medium dark brown because I want it to be a little darker for fall, so that's what I will be dyeing it pretty soon. I was going to do it last night actually and did not have the time. Okay, MAC's Bare Steady Paint Pot, looks like that. And a Real Techniques, this is a domed shadow brush, and I'm going to get that onto my lid, like so. Same thing on the other side, like so. Okay. Next, I'm going to take Nars All About Eve, and either of the 2 shades in here, you can use the shimmery or the non-shimmery. I'm just going to use this one on the right-hand side. I'm not sure, you know, they're the same, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go over that Bare Steady up here to highlight and then pull down. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side and pull down like so. And then I'm going to take that Soba again, and with my Smashbox 26, which is my crease brush, I am going to apply in the outer corner here. I know I need to get my camera a little better. I just can't record with my Canon. I can't. It drives me insane because I want to come close and then move out and then swatch and all kinds of things, and it just does not work. Okay, so I've placed them in those outer corners. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to just kind of windshield wipe that shade inward to create some crease definition, since I have absolutely none. You can see there's no crease definition on that side. So I'm just kind of creating it here. Like that. Same thing on this side. Bring that color and work it inward. For every day, I stop when I'm blended, because this is all I need for eyeshadow. Okay. And then I kind of swipe to get this area in here. I don't want it so stark compared to the rest of my lid. Then I will take my blending brush and just blend these edges up and out. Same thing on this side. And I'm just holding my hair back. I'm not pulling my face or anything. Okay, and then once I get that blended in, I'm going to take that darkest shade in the Smashbox. And it looks like this. It's just a really dark, it does have kind of a gray, purpley, taupey, I don't know, it's, I guess, a very dark taupe. A little brown, but not too brown. I don't know how to explain the shade very well at all, and honestly, I wouldn't know how to tell you to even copy it. I'm going to get a regular eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to get that on both sides of my brush and tap off some excess, and that's going to go into that outer corner like so. It's kind of got purpley undertones, like lavendery undertones, or slate. I don't know, it's weird. And I'm just kind of keeping it concentrated on this outer area. You guys see where I placed it at? You guys see that? And then with a pencil brush, I'm going to get that same shade on, and I'm going to go underneath my lower lash line. Okay. And I'm done. This is it. This is my look. I'm finished. Just kidding. Just kidding. Still gotta blend. So I'm gonna take my MAC brush and I'm gonna blend out these edges. And I'm gonna bring it inward. Like so. And then the same thing on this side. Blend. Like that. Alright. Okay, I updated my Turbo Fire vlog, my workout vlog, for you guys yesterday, so hopefully I can upload that. It is TMI, it is very embarrassing because I broached my issues that I have with going to the bathroom. I have some issues with regularity, and so I kind of touch on that and things that I do to help myself or keep myself regular. So it's a little embarrassing, but I'm going to leave all that on there because I don't edit like you guys know. Okay, I'm going to take my brush and just kind of wipe away any fallout from down here. And then I'm going to find that Angelika blush again. And there it is. Just add a little bit more onto my cheeks, like so. It's a very pretty blush. And I'm going to brush my brows into place. And then I'm going to curl my lashes. Anyhow, so yeah, my vlog, I updated that. My Turbo Fire, I do use it. I follow it weekly, so I try to do it every day. I will skip 1 or 2 days a week, depending on what I have to do that week, or what I have going on and how busy I am. I did take a week off 2 weeks ago because my children both had strep throat, and I was just too lazy to do anything because when they're sick, it just makes everybody miserable. So I took a week off from that. I oh, excuse me, I am missing a whole chunk of eyelashes right there. It's so annoying. I will do my Turbo Fire and my treadmill run every day, and I just recently decided, well, not recently, it's been about 2 weeks, decided that I'm going to run a 10K, which is 6.2 miles. And I'm excited about that because I've never run a 10K before. I've never run, like, organized running. I run for the fun of myself, or for my own physical fitness. That means I need to go, which means I'm talking too much. Anyhow, this is my mascara. It's the Smashbox Hyperlash mascara, and I'm going to apply that. Yeah, so I'm in the midst of training for that 10K, and I'm going to be running it with my sister-in-law, my sister-in-law is a runner by heart. I mean, she loves running just as much as I do, but she is like, she runs marathons and half marathons, or half marathons and marathons. I have never really been interested in it. I've always felt like, I run for me. I don't run to prove, that I can run a marathon or anything like that. And really, it's not about that. It's just kind of measuring your physical fitness, I guess. It's like a test, and you're testing yourself. And I started to kind of see it that way. And I thought, what, I want to try. So she said she would do it with me. There is a 5K, but she's like, okay, let's do it. Let's do the 10K. And I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. I'll do that. So I cannot talk while I'm applying mascara. I just can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. Anyhow, so that's what we're doing. She, of course, trains all the time. She's always training when she's running. So I am starting to train, and it's just to be able, to run 6.2 miles, which I can do 3 already. And if I really push myself, I could do more. So I started off just kind of training at 1.5 miles to get back into it because I took that week off. And then I'm up to 2 miles. Next week I'll be up to 3 miles, and then I'll just do 3 miles and then bump it to 4, 5, and 6 miles with the actual 10K. So you don't actually run the 6 miles until the day of the 10K, but building up to it. So that is kind of what I'm doing. I do my Turbo Fire, and then that kind of serves as my cross training. Long runs on Saturday, easy runs on Sunday, and then runs during the week, like 2 runs during the week. So training for that, which is going to be exciting, and I will start posting updates on my blog if you guys want to follow along, because I'm horrible at Twitter, just horrible. I have a Twitter specifically for the Style Chronicles, but I'm just horrible at updating. I'm bad at responding. Honestly, the whole Twitter thing makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't get the whole at la la la, you know, and then at la 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 RT. Yeah, I don't get Twitter speak at all. So I will update on my blog day by day, occasionally on my Twitter, but not all the time. So this is my finished look. Let me go ahead and go over that with you guys. I'm not sure if the light helps or worsens what you can see, but here it is. It's just a simple, I don't think this is a smoky eye because it's not smoked out from the lash line up. It's from the outer corner in, but you can consider it smoky if you'd like. I don't really know what it is. Nars Angelika blush, and then the Smashbox on my lid. So that is the finished look. Let me turn this off and I can get closer into for you to see. All right, well, thanks so much for watching, and all I need is some lip gloss or I need lip something, don't I? I don't have anything because I didn't bring anything with me. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.